Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to explore a very useful and commonly used English expression that can instantly make your spoken English sound more natural and fluent. The topic of today's lecture is wrap your head around it. Have you ever come across something so confusing or complicated that you struggled to fully understand it at first? Let us begin by understanding what this expression actually means in everyday English. The phrase wrap your head around it is an informal idiom used when someone is trying to understand something that is difficult, complex, surprising, or not easy to accept at first. When you say you cannot wrap your head around something, it means your mind is struggling to fully grasp or process the idea. On the other hand, when you finally wrap your head around it, it means you have understood it after some effort or time. This expression is very common in spoken English, movies, interviews, conversations, and even educational discussions. It helps speakers describe mental effort in a natural and relatable way. Instead of simply saying "I do not understand," native speakers often prefer this idiom because it sounds more expressive and emotional. Now let us break this phrase into its individual words to understand it more deeply and learn how each word contributes to the meaning. We will also look at practical examples for each word so you can clearly see how they function in real sentences. First word, wrap. The word wrap generally means to cover something around another object or to enclose something fully. In a physical sense, we use wrap when we talk about wrapping gifts, wrapping food, or wrapping clothes around the body. In a mental or idiomatic sense, it represents the idea of surrounding something completely, which connects to the concept of understanding something fully. Here are 5 examples of how the word wrap is used in different sentences. 1. Please wrap the gift carefully before you give it to her. 2. She used a towel to wrap her hair after the shower. 3. The chef will wrap the sandwich in paper for takeaway. 4. He tried to wrap his arms around the box but it was too big. 5. It took me a while to wrap my thoughts around the problem. Second word, head. The word head in this expression does not refer only to the physical head but represents the mind or thinking ability of a person. In English, head is often used metaphorically to talk about thinking, understanding, or intelligence. When we say something goes over your head, it means you did not understand it. Here are 5 examples of how head is used in different contexts. 1. I need to clear my head before making a decision. 2. That explanation went right over my head. 3. She has a good head for numbers and calculations. 4. Try to keep a cool head during the interview. 5. He cannot get that idea out of his head. Third word, around. The word around has many meanings in English, but in this phrase it helps describe movement or direction. It gives the sense of surrounding something completely. In general usage, around can mean in a circular direction, nearby area, or surrounding space. In idiomatic use, it contributes to the idea of mental processing happening from all sides. Here are 5 examples of how around is used. 1. We walked around the park in the evening. 2. There are many trees around the house. 3. She looked around the room for her keys. 4. He traveled around the world for his job. 5. The discussion around the topic became very serious. Fourth word, it. The word it is a pronoun used to refer to a thing, idea, situation or concept that has already been mentioned. In this phrase, it represents whatever complex idea or situation you are trying to understand. It is a very flexible word in English and is used in thousands of different contexts. Here are 5 examples of how it is used. 1. It is raining heavily today. 2. I cannot believe it happened so quickly. 3. It seems like a good opportunity. 4. She said it was not her fault. 5. He fixed it without any help. Now that we understand each word, let us return to the full expression wrap your head around it and understand it more deeply in context. When someone says I cannot wrap my head around it, they are expressing confusion or difficulty in understanding something. When they say I finally wrapped my head around it, it means they have understood it after thinking carefully or spending time on it. This phrase is especially useful when talking about difficult subjects like mathematics, science, emotional situations, complicated instructions, or unexpected news. For example, if someone learns advanced technology for the first time, they might say I am trying to wrap my head around how this system works. If someone hears surprising news, they might say I cannot wrap my head around what just happened. If a student finally understands a difficult lesson, they might say I finally wrapped my head around the concept after studying it twice. This phrase is powerful because it shows not just understanding but the mental effort behind that understanding. It adds emotion and realism to communication. Now let us explore more real-life usage examples of the full expression wrap your head around it so you can confidently use it in your speaking and writing. 1. I cannot wrap my head around how fast technology is changing these days. 2. It took me a week to wrap my head around the new job responsibilities. 3. She is still trying to wrap her head around the breakup. 4. I finally wrapped my head around the math problem after practicing it. 5. He could not wrap his head around the idea of moving to another country. This expression is very helpful for English learners because it is used frequently in everyday conversations. Instead of sounding robotic or too simple, using idioms like this makes your language sound more natural and fluent. Another important thing to remember is that this phrase is informal. It is best used in conversations, storytelling, explanations, or casual writing. In formal academic writing, you might prefer phrases like understand fully, comprehend, or grasp the concept. Let us look at how this phrase changes depending on tense and usage. In present tense we say I cannot wrap my head around it. In past tense we say I could not wrap my head around it. In completed understanding we say I finally wrapped my head around it. This flexibility makes it easy to use in different situations without changing the core meaning. To master this expression, try using it whenever you encounter something difficult or confusing in your daily life. For example, when learning a new skill, watching a complex movie, or dealing with a complicated situation, you can mentally practice saying I am trying to wrap my head around it. This will help you build natural fluency. Before we finish today's lecture, let us quickly revise the key idea. The expression wrap your head around it means to understand something difficult after thinking about it carefully. It is commonly used in informal English and helps you express confusion and understanding in a natural way. We also learned the meanings and examples of each word in the phrase and saw how they contribute to the overall expression. Now here is a question for you to think about. Have you ever faced a situation in your life that was so confusing or complicated that you could not wrap your head around it at first? Thank you for listening and learning today. Keep practicing these expressions and make them a part of your daily English speaking journey.